하나, 둘, 셋. 하나, 둘, 셋. 제29회 WBSC 기장 세계 청소년 야구 선수권 대회를 찾아주신 여러분 감사합니다. 호주와 캐나다 경기를 시작하겠습니다.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome and thank you for attending for today's game for the WBSC U-18 Baseball World Cup 2019. Today's competition features Team Australia versus Team Canada.
Good morning and a very warm welcome to Gijang-Hyundai Dream Ballpark in the Republic of Korea and the final day of the opening round of the 2019 WBSC U-18 Baseball World Cup, as we have a monster showdown today in Group A as two squads from the Commonwealth try to knock each other off and move on to Super Round play here on a misty but thankfully dry Wednesday in Gijong City. Hi everybody, my name is Tyler Mon. Great to have you alongside for this one as we get set to go with Australia and Canada squaring off, two teams that are extraordinarily familiar with each other, more so than probably any other two teams in this tournament. These two squads matched up in 6 meetings in Lismore in the Queensland region of Australia prior to coming here to the Republic of Korea for this tournament. They are two teams that have seen each other a lot just in recent years as the national teams have matched up at various levels and in various parts of the world, not only in Australia but Canada and elsewhere. And today they will go at it with each other with the Super Round seedings on the line, at least as it seems right now from Canada's standpoint. For Australia, got to get a win to get in today. And the Aussies, the visiting squad, as we get ready to go for this contest. This game is technically from the originally scheduled tournament calendar. This matchup will go down as game number 16 of the, no, check that, game number 20 of the 2019 WBSC U-18 Baseball World Cup's opening round. This was rained out 2 days ago. We had a whole bunch of rain on Monday that forced the postponement of 4 different contests, and these two teams really eager to get after it with each other. Didn't get a chance to do it 2 days ago, but today they will go at it here on field number 2. Here is the starting lineup for today's visitors from Australia, as announced by the manager, Steve Fish. Travis Bazzana will lead things off. He's the second baseman, then Jalen Ray, the left fielder, and Chris Burke behind the plate, batting in the 3 spot. Connor Miles is the DH. He'll clean up. Solomon McGuire in right field batting 5th. Liam McDonald, the third baseman, hits 6th, and Byron Armstrong, the shortstop, bats 7th. Liam McCallum, the first baseman, will hit in the 8th spot, and Alexander Skepton, the center fielder, rounds things out for Australia. There is the manager, Steve Fish, the American-born manager, a native of the United States and a product of the University of Nebraska in his collegiate baseball playing days, a former All-Big 12 selection at the university level in the United States. Defensively, his squad will see this group for Canada on the other side. It's Cesar Valero in left field, Desan Brown, one of the real studs on this squad, in center, Micah McDowell's in right, TJ Schofield Sam over at third base, another really good young talent. Austin Gom is at short, Elijah Hamill is at second, Noah Hull, a hulking first baseman. I would like to take credit for that comment, but Jason Swartz, our other broadcaster, said he thinks the last name is spelled wrong for Noah Hull, and they added an L and should have put a K on the end of it. Ryan Leach is behind the plate. There's the manager of this Canada squad, Greg Hamilton, who leads this team into a matchup today that will go to determine a lot coming out of Group A. Canada, with a win, is in. They will have clinched the top spot as it appears right now in Group A. They knocked off Korea with a 1-0 win earlier in the tournament. Both those teams would be 4-1. Home plate umpire today, Takahashi Shinya, always got a smile. Maybe not right now, as he's got his game face on, getting set to go, but well, one of the friendliest dudes in international baseball. Ernesto Del Risco is at first base. Mark Capito from South Africa. Mark and I have ridden the bus together a couple of mornings over the last few days in this opening round play. He's at second, and Dae-Nam Kim from the Republic of Korea is over at third. As Travis Bazzana steps into the batter's box, and we are set to go at 11 o'clock in the morning as Antoine Jean, the left-hander from Montreal, gets set to go with the first man that he will see in Travis Bazzana. Travis, a lefty bat, in to face the southpaw. And the first pitch of the morning's matchup with some adrenaline and maybe a little deliberate behind ball 1. We are underway at exactly 11 o'clock in the morning, right on schedule. Sometimes you want to go a little Nuke LaLoosh and hit the bull with your first pitch, and a fastball on 1-0 stays a little bit high. It's 2 balls and no strikes. For Canada, I was talking a little while ago with Chris Begg, the pitching coach for this squad, and he said Antoine Jean may have the hottest burning competitive fire of anybody in this tournament. This is a guy who really, really wants this ball, really wants this matchup, and he's got a 4-pitch walk issued to the first man he sees as Travis Bazzana takes 4 out of the zone and puts himself aboard as a leadoff base runner here in the top of the first inning. This lefty for Canada, managing emotion is going to be key today because Antoine Jean has not pitched in over a week. He pitched against this Australia team and fared very well when these two squads saw each other in Lismore in their exhibition series kind of tune-up matchup before coming up here to the Republic of Korea for this tournament. And Antoine threw really well in that competition, but he was scheduled to go in the originally slated matchup between these two teams back on Monday. Canada held him out of starting yesterday's game to keep him for Australia today. And he's got a foul tip there off the bat of the left fielder, Jalen Ray, to put the count in the lefty's favor at 1-2. But man, I love when you ask a coach about a player and you can see his eyes just light up. And that was Chris Begg's reaction when I asked him about this lefty Jean, as this one shot down the right field line and slicing foul off the bat of Jalen Ray. A fierce competitor, that's how Chris described his lefty. Antoine Jean Just turned 18 back on the 1st of August. So a little bit over a month removed from his 18th birthday. 1-2 pitch stays way high. Two balls and 2 strikes on Jalen Ray. So not having pitched for over a week, the adrenaline coming into a game like this, especially with so much on a line and in really what is a rivalry series between these two teams, you got to be able to keep all of your energy managed, or at least direct it the way you want to. That first at bat to Travis Bazzana, first pitch fastball that sailed over the backstop Ryan Leach and all the way to the screen. 4-pitch walk and now a 3-2 count. Ray spoils this one foul. Good at bat here from Jalen Ray out of the 2 spot for Australia. This is a big first inning for Antoine Jean, and a guy who can certainly go out feeling confident that his offense will be giving him some support. One in the air foul as well. Canada is 3-1, and this team has scored 42 runs in its first 4 games on 48 hits. It's not the most runs scored in the tournament. That distinction goes to Japan. They played at 45, but 19 of those against South Africa, and it is back-to-back walks to start this game for the Aussies as Jalen Ray pushes Travis Bazzana to second base, and first and second nobody out for Chris Burke, the catcher, and time called as Ryan Leach heads to the mound. Australia started this tournament with a surprising loss to Nicaragua on day number 1, falling in a 3-2 defeat. And today's starter for Australia, Will Sheriff, pitched in that game through 7 innings, was fantastic. But the Aussies rebounded the next day with a 1-0 win over the host nation, Korea. Then beat China 13-2 in 7 innings. Rained out on Monday in the matchup slated against this Canada team. And then last night, dropped a 4-3 decision at the hands of the Netherlands, a game in which Australia trailed 3-1 going into the 9th, gave up a run there, then got 2 back in the bottom of the 9th before falling 4-3. So 2-2 coming into today. The Aussies need this win to move on. And if they get it, Australia would move into the Super Round as the top team coming out of Group A, because 2 of their 3 wins in the opening round would be against the 2 teams joining them, Korea and Canada. If everything shakes out as it appears it will. Here's a bouncing ball right side, stabbed over there on the backhand by Noah Hull, but his throws gets away, and in to score on the play is Travis Bazzana, and Australia is on the board first with a 1-0 lead. A frustrated Noah Hull over at first, going for that out. Chris Burke will reach on the fielder's choice. That will go as an error charge to the Canada first baseman, who just fired off the mark. And a real jam for Antoine Jean to start this game, as it looked as though he had gotten his first out, if not 2, and instead a run home, and Australia still threatens with first and second. Good breaking ball that's there for a strike. Antoine Jean goes fastball, curveball, changeup. Chris Beck told me he is the type of guy who wants the ball every inning, every game. Said he would have thrown a complete game last night and followed it up with a complete game today if he could decide. He's into the count ahead of Connor Miles, the designated hitter, at 0 balls and 2 strikes. Connor Miles out of this 4 spot in the order so far in the tournament. In total, he is 2 for 12. 4 runs scored for Miles. 0-2 pitch, able to hold up on a breaking ball. It slips low. It's a good pitch and an even better job by Miles to lay off of it. One, two, high. in tight on the big lefty bat. There's one thing you'll notice about this Canada-Australia matchup. There are a lot of gigantic human beings on these two teams. And Connor Miles is certainly one of them in the Australia cleanup spot. 2-2 swatted foul. Miles listed at 193 centimeters and 97 kilos. That converted, by the way, is about 6'4" and 215 pounds. And he is 18 years old, by the way. Noah Hull over at first for Canada has a very Mike Trout build to him. 3-2 pitch on the way. And a good job by Miles to stay alive. Antoine Jean now approaching 25 pitches in this first inning with still nobody out. Let's get a look at that. Clean delivery from the lefty. Three balls, two strikes. At second base, Jalen Ray. First base, Chris Burke. After the fielder's choice and the error. 3-2. We'll do it again. This is a lengthy first inning that the southpaw Antoine Jean would really like to at least be able to get out number one and start climbing his way back toward level footing. This ball roped to right field. It'll hang up long enough, and a nice job by Micah McDowell closing on it. And the base runner, Jalen Ray, was moving with that thing off the bat. So that is the double play that Canada needed. Last batter up was Chris Burke. He slapped that ball to the right side. Looked like maybe it was going to be two. And instead, Miles flies out. And with Ray on the move, he's gone. So 2 outs, and the runner now at first base in the person of Chris Burke, and that is a tremendous break for Antoine Jean. 1-0 pitch there at the belt. Called strike to Solomon McGuire. McGuire, the hottest hitter on this Australia team. 7 first 13, or check that, first 15 in the tournament. He's got a home run, a triple, and a double. 6 runs batted in of his team's 15 RBI in the tournament. He's also scored twice. McGuire, the right fielder. 1-2 high on him. Antoine Jean nearing 30 pitches now, here in the first inning, but a tremendous assist from Micah McDowell on that catch. Out and right, 2-2, a called strike 3 over the outside corner with the fastball, and Jean pulls a magic act out of his hat to get things done in the first. Australia threatens a whole bunch, but only puts 1 on the board. We'll go to the bottom of the first inning. The Aussies 1, and Canada coming up.
그러면 수비 결과 호주 수비치를 말씀드렸습니다. 투수 웰 샤리프, 포수 크리스 벅, 1루수 리안 맥클럼, 2루수 트래비스 바자나, 3루수 리안 맥도날드, 유격수 바이론 암스트롱, 자익수 제린 로이, 중견수 알렉스 캐프톤, 우익수 솔로몬 맥과이어. 이상이 이름을 수비 들어간 호주 수비치였습니다.
On the defensive for Team Australia, pitcher, Wilson, catcher, Chris Buck, first baseman, Liam McCullum, second baseman, Travis Bajano, third baseman, Liam McDonald, shortstop, Byron Armstrong, left fielder, Jalen Ray.
Headed to the bottom of the first inning, an unearned run across for Australia in the top half of one, and the starting lineup for Canada, as announced by manager Greg Hamilton, the world's number 10, will send a real talented group, especially this top three, but really across the lineup 1 through 9. Micah McDowell, Dasan Brown, and TJ Schofield Sam, the three due to the batter's box in the opening inning. Ryan Leach, the catcher, will clean up. Owen Diodati, the designated hitter, batting in the 5 spot. Cesar Valero is in left field batting 6. Noah Hull, the first baseman, in the 7 hole. Austin Gaum, the shortstop, bats 8th, and Elijah Hamill, the second baseman, will bat 9th. Defensively for Australia, Ray, Skepton, and McGuire left, center, and right. McDonald, Armstrong, Bazana, and McCallum third to first on the infield. Burke behind the plate. And the lefty Will Sheriff on the mound. Was talking with Australia's pitching coach Graham Lloyd, the former major leaguer, the former World Series champion today, about his lefty. And the first words out of his mouth, he said, "Crafty lefty." And that is the identity for this southpaw, who is going to throw 3 pitches for strikes. 1-0 pitch low and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Big cut and miss there. First strike of the morning for the southpaw Will Sheriff. 2-1, skied the other direction off the bat of Micah McDowell. This will slice out into the Canada bullpen down the left field line. Two-two pitch. Slow roller to second. Bazana settles behind it. He's got the throw to first in time. And Micah McDowell is retired. 1 up, 1 down to get things started here in the bottom of the first inning.
Now hitting number 8, Dasan Brown, center fielder.
The other game going on right now, they're in the second inning. China and the Netherlands. Another makeup game from Monday's rained out contest, as the southpaw Sheriff wants a new baseball. Takahashi Shinya will send one back to him. Sheriff, fastball, curveball, changeup. We'll see the same 3-pitch mix from Antoine Jean on the other side. Antoine might have a little bit of pure stuff to him, but Will Sheriff can fill up the strike zone. He pitches with intent, has his plan. Antoine Jean much the same way. Maybe a little bit more velocity from Antoine on the other side for Canada. Sheriff, good command. The thing that's really impressive about Will Sheriff, he can throw all 3 of his pitches in any count, as Dasan Brown, the Toronto Blue Jays prospect, got the green light on 3-0 and went after it. 3rd round draft selection of the Toronto Blue Jays this year, Dasan Brown from Oakville, Ontario, Canada. Drafted by his home nation's major league squad in the big league ranks in the United States, and he drives this one in the air to left field, tracking it toward the warning track. This thing has got a little bit of carry on it. That hung up there forever, but Jalen Ray waits under it for a while and brings it in, and Dasan Brown knows he just missed it. Still, it is the jinx of Tyler. I take full responsibility for all of this. I have yet to see a home run in this tournament. And I know we've had like over a dozen now, none of them in games that I have called. So I take full responsibility for the lack of baseballs leaving the yard when I am back here in our broadcast booth. And my apologies to everyone. 2 up, 2 down. TJ Schofield Sam, the Oakland Athletics prospect, into the box. Schofield Sam, 18 years old. He is a 12th round pick of the Oakland Athletics, also from Ontario, Brampton, Ontario, and he'll lift this one in the air left side. This is going to be a tough play. 3-man conversion. It is the 3rd baseman, Liam McDonald, with the over-the-shoulder sliding grab, and that retires the side. Great play by the Australia 3rd baseman, and we head to the 2nd. Fantastic first inning for Will Sheriff. The Aussies head back to the bat rack. Antoine Jean back to the mound. 1-0 Australia out in front of Canada.
1초 호주 공격 6번 타자 3루수 리안 맥도날드.
Now hitting number 44, Liam McDonald, third baseman.
Top half of the second inning, Australia set to send 6, 7, and 8 to the batter's box. Steve Fish and his coaching staff. Their squad off to a good start with a run in the top of the first. Liam McDonald, the third baseman, will lead things off. Then Byron Armstrong, the shortstop, and Liam McCallum, the first baseman. Something going on in the other field. China and the Netherlands in action. That game is in the second inning. You can hear the whistles, can hear the horns. Big swing and a miss there on 1-1 to McDonald. Liam, 2 for his first 15 so far in the tournament. A couple of runs batted in. He has also worked his way aboard in a couple of painful ways. He's been hit by pitches twice. He's gone on strikes here, leading things off in the second. Second strikeout for Antoine Jean. Kind of get the feeling, and obviously it is super early in this game, but that first inning sort of had the feeling that if Australia did not bust out for a bunch against Antoine Jean, he was going to right the ship. And he is a scary arm, and if he gets it going, as this is a tough play first base side, foul ground. Nice job taking control there. Noah Hull pulls it in. You get a guy on the ropes in the first inning, you get first and second, catch a break on an error, get a run home with it. You still got first and second, nobody out. Pitcher laboring, getting him up over 30 pitches in the first inning. And Australia only able to get that one run. Now you're in for a battle. Not as though to say, had Australia gotten 3 in that first inning, that all of a sudden this day is done, but you really want to take advantage of those opportunities when you can. So 2 outs, base is empty. Liam McCallum is the batter. Aussies with that run in the first inning on no hits, by the way, leaving a man aboard. 1-1, shot in the air to center. Desan Brown will track it and grab it, and that retires the side. Here in the second, a quick and quiet top of 2 for Australia. We will head to the bottom of the second inning. 1-0 Australia with the lead over Canada.
Let's go. Let's go. Hey, let's go.
이음은 캐나다 공격 4번 타자 포수 라이언 리치.
Bottom of the second inning, Australia with a 1-0 lead over Canada after a 3-up, 3-down bottom of 1. Will Sheriff back to the pitcher's mound here for the second. He will face Ryan Leach, the catcher, Owen Diodati, the designated hitter, and Cesar Valero, the left fielder. Ryan Leach, one of the big bats in this lineup for Canada, both in a literal and just descriptive sense. But Leach to start this tournament, 2 hits, one of them a homer. Also a great start just in getting on base. He's got 4 walks, and he'll slide this one out to second. Byron Armstrong makes the play. 1 up, 1 down. Will Sheriff, really, really good start to this game. Guy who just knows how to pitch. It's amazing how, especially at the youth levels, how rare that quality is, and certainly not in these tournaments, not in these World Cups. All of these guys know how to pitch, but if you're evaluating just youth baseball players across the globe, there is a difference between throwers and pitchers. And when you are 16, 17, 18 years old like these guys are, the members of these national teams getting onto these pitching staffs, you have to have an idea of how to pitch, how to work counts, being able to throw your stuff in every count, pitching backwards, which means kind of starting with your breaking stuff, moving to your fastball later. But that's the exception. The rule around the world in youth baseball is basically you just get up there and you do your best. You try to throw your stuff. You throw something that you feel like can work in a certain situation. That's one of the many separating factors between these elite players and your everyday players around the world. And guys like Will Sheriff, I mean, to be able to do this, to saw guys off and throw pitches that get in off the hands and turn into weak groundouts, I mean, that is an impressive skill set to have. You know, if you're not throwing things into the 140s and 150s with regularity in your velocity in kilometers per hour, you got to have a plan for getting guys out, and it certainly has been that way through the first 5 men to the batter's box against this lefty Will Sheriff. So 2 outs, bases are empty, and the batter, Cesar Valero, he's a fun player to watch. This is actually the first game that I've gotten a chance to see Canada as a broadcaster, but the games that I've gotten to watch, Valero is a really, really dynamic talent out there in the outfield, and his baseball track shows why. He is a Beaver at Oregon State University, one of the premier university-level programs in the United States. Good breaking ball there from Sheriff, but a little bit too much dive to it. It's 2-2. Valero 4 for 13 so far in the competition with a double. He's got 8 runs scored for this team, and he swings and doesn't get a piece there. It's the first strikeout of the day for Will Sheriff, who has looked masterful through his first 2 innings. 6 up, 6 down against the Australia lefty. We head to the third. It's Australia 1 and Canada nothing.
투베이스 호수 공격 9번 타자 중견수 알렉스 스티아프톤.
As a power pitcher, number 8, Alex Stephen, center fielder.
Top half of the third inning, 9-1 and 2-4 Australia, Alex Skepton. Then back to the top of the order with Travis Bazzana and Jalen Ray. 1-0 in the now final day of opening round play here at the 2019 WBSC U-18 Baseball World Cup. Back at Gijang-Hyundai Dream Ballpark in the Republic of Korea. My name is Tyler Mon. Thanks for hanging out with us on what is a foggy but not rainy Wednesday morning, just after 11:25 a.m. today local time. 0-2 in off the end of the bat, but crushed well to center field. That thing did not really get the barrel, and it still smoked out over the head of Desan Brown, and Alex Skepton, the 9-hole hitter, has a leadoff double here in the top of the third. That thing, you could hear kind of that deadened sound as that came off the bat, and that still blistered its way out.
1번 타자 이로스 트래비스 바자나.
Now hitting
all the way to
number
center.
9, Travis Bajana, second baseman.
So a leadoff man in scoring position. First pitch swinging, Bazana puts one out to short. That'll advance the runner as Skepton moves his way to third base. Bazana put out by Austin Gom, but double ground out and a potential second run. Now one station away for Australia here in the top of the third.
이번 타자 선수 제린 오웰.
Now hitting number 5,
That ball off the bat of Alex Skepton. That certainly fooled me a little bit. And again, we've kind of mentioned our broadcast vantage point is ground level. So getting a read on the angles and the power behind some of these balls hit is a little bit tough at times as Jalen Ray tries to bring home his outfield mate from third base. But man, even with the sound of that seeming like it wasn't a direct barrel shot, Skepton blasted out over the head of Desan Brown in center. Jalen Ray, terrific at bat back in the first inning, a terrific plate appearance, I should say. He walked after working the count full, and he is already in a battle here. A ball and 2 strikes on him. A little equipment issue for Ryan Leach. Jalen was locked in, staring out there at Antoine Jean. 1-2 pitch. Count even. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Lead away from third for Skepton. Swing and a ball in the air to right. Micah McDowell sets up behind it. Catch made and tagging, holding is Alex Skepton, and rightfully so. The throw was a good one. Ryan Leach. I'm not going to give you too many points for the dismount, put it that way, but executed the catch. That's the most important part. So Jalen Ray flies out, and the power behind that throw from Micah McDowell taking down his catcher. Ryan Leach back in the crouch, ready to go. 2 outs, man stays at third, and the first pitch breaking ball there for a strike to Chris Burke. Burke hit the fielder's choice grounder over to first in the top half of the first inning. Noah Hull made the play on it, stabbed it on the backhand, and trying to get a 3-6-1, likely, double play started. He threw the ball away and allowed a run to score. One ball, 1 strike. Swing and a drive well hit out to right center field. McDowell racing back. This will get the run home, and it gets all the way to the wall. An RBI extra base hit for Chris Burke. He's around second, and now he's going to have to get back into the bag, and he's there safely. Chris Burke hammers an RBI double to right center, and Australia's got a 2-0 lead in the third. Talk about a barrel shot. One hop off the wall, an easy track home for Alex Skepton after his leadoff double. He was still waiting there 2 outs later. And man, that is a great job by Chris Burke to be able to get back into the bag at second, put himself in scoring position to keep this inning going. And a first pitch breaking ball is low to Connor Miles. It's a ball and no strikes. Miles flew out to right field back in the first. Well spotted breaking ball there from Antoine Jean. These two teams, it is always a classic, it feels like, when Australia and Canada match up. They're two very similarly structured teams with the way these lineups are built, their pitching staffs, and especially the familiarity. Talked about this just prior to first pitch. The two teams meeting for an exhibition series in Australia prior to this tournament in Lismore. I think I said Queensland earlier, talking about Lismore. Lismore's in New South Wales. I don't know if I, for some reason, had a brain cramp as the 2-2 was swung on and missed. But in that 6-game series, Australia took 4 out of 6, and so far today, they've got the upper hand in this one. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's Australia 2 and Canada nothing on the final day of the opening round of the 2019 WBSC U-18 Baseball World Cup.
Hey, we've been here before. Let's go. Come on, one at a time. Let's go.
공격.
2-0 lead for Steve Fish and Graham Lloyd and the members of the Australia coaching staff. That is Tyrone Hambley to the left of your screen. Damian Shanahan, who's facing the camera in front of the manager, Steve Fish, wearing the number 20. Graham Lloyd, you really can't miss. He's like 30 feet tall. Pitching coach for Australia is on the right side of your screen as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Canada has sent 6 to the plate through its first 2 frames against Will Sheriff and has found tough sledding. 3 ground outs, a pop out, a strikeout, and a fly out. And this could be ground out number 4 as the first baseman Noah Hull bounces one over to his counterpart, and Liam McCallum takes it to the bag unassisted. 1 up, 1 down on just a couple of pitches. In the bottom of the 3rd. Will Sheriff, extremely efficient so far. He has thrown 27 pitches, 19 strikes for his first 2 1/3 innings. Austin Gom, the shortstop, takes a pitch for a strike. Gom just 17 years old. He won't turn 18 until November. But it's the guy in the on-deck circle who is a pretty incredible story on this roster right now for Canada, and we'll talk about Elijah Hamill here in a minute. There's that Aussie coaching staff, Steve Fish, leaning on the fence on the right of the screen. That whistle that you hear on foul balls, there is a member of the staff here who blows that whistle. The first base side of this field, we're on field 2, butts up basically against the third base side of field 3. And there is a walkway in between, and that check swing, Austin Gom couldn't hold up. He's gone on strikes, 2 gone here in the 3rd. And there's a member of the staff that blows the whistle to alert people on the walkways in this Cloverfield complex that a foul ball could be coming over the netting. Obviously that last one was a little bit too low to have escaped the netting, as there is the check swing called strike 3. Austin Gom gone on the swing. And here's Elijah Hamill. Hamill is 15 years old. Swings and drives this one foul. There's that whistle again. 15 years old, Elijah Hamill. He will not turn 16 until November 21st, and he is a member of this roster who is getting a start day after day and producing day after day for Canada. And this one is going to be strike 3, but it's also going to be Canada's first base runner as it slips away. from the backstop Chris Burke, and a strikeout wild pitch puts Hamill aboard with 2 outs, and it will not be 9 up, 9 down against Will Sheriff.
Now hitting 24, Michael McDowell, right fielder.
Through the first time through the order. So we'll go back to the top of the lineup and Michael McDowell. And first pitch swinging, Micah out to second. Travis Pisano with the flip to the bag at first. Second 4-3 ground out of the day for McDowell. And a pretty orderly bottom of the 3rd inning for the lefty Will Sheriff. Headed to the middle third of this game, Australia with a 2-0 lead over Canada on day number 5, technically, sort of the 2019 WBSC U-18 Baseball World Cup's opening round.
선수 호주 공격 5번 타자 우익수 솔로몬 맥과이어.
At the top of the 1st inning, number 10, Solomon McGuire, right fielder.
Top half of the 4th inning, Australia with a 2-0 lead over Canada on the final day of the opening round of the WBSC U-18 Baseball World Cup 2019. First pitch breaking ball starting Solomon McGuire in the top of the 4th inning from the left-hander Antoine Jean. Ball 1. McGuire struck out looking to end the 1st inning. His only trip to the plate so far today. Solomon, then Liam McDonald and Byron Armstrong. Those the 3 due up here in the 4th. Nice breaking pitch, actually up above the hands that the lefty Jean was able to get the swing and miss from McGuire on. 1-2 pitch and another cut and miss. That is back-to-back strikeouts and now 4 straight, or not 4 straight, 4 on the day. Strikeout with the 2-3 putout. Antoine Jean, 4th strikeout. He has now doubled up his walk total. That was from just the first 2 batters. Issued 2 free passes in the 1st inning. One of them scored. But here we are in the 4th, and he has certainly settled into a much better groove, even despite the 2 doubles last inning. 3 up, 3 down in the 2nd. Got a strikeout to kick things off here in the 4th, and he's got a 1-1 count on Liam McDonald. Another cut and miss there from McDonald. Liam trying to get his bat going now, 2 for 16 in the tournament. 1-2, able to stay away from chasing that pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. John into the wind. That'll slip over the first base side. Trying to keep your starter cool. That is Brandon Bedouin, the right-handed starting pitcher for Australia, wearing the number 35, and Blake Cavill wearing the number 37. William Sheriff. It is a humid day for a starter. There's a cut and miss from McDonald. 5 strikeouts now and 3 straight for Antoine Jean, who is starting to feel it. And with 2 outs, bases empty for the 7-hole hitter Byron Armstrong, the shortstop.
Now hitting, number 6, Byron Armstrong, shortstop.
Armstrong popped out to first base in his first trip to the plate. Well spotted 1-0 fastball there from Jean. 1-1 in the air, right field. Three-man conversion. Micah McDowell's going to have the easiest play on this ball, and tailing back on him, but he's able to make the grab, and 3 up, 3 down goes Australia in the 4th inning. Both even-numbered innings. The Aussies have gone in order. Odd-numbered innings, they've played at a run each. We move to the bottom of the 4th. Australia 2 and Canada nothing.
소lem을 캐나다 공격. 이번 타자 중견수 다산 브라운.
Bottom of the 4th inning, a 2-0 lead for Australia, and the left-handed starting pitcher Will Sheriff, as he will see 2, 3, and 4 from the Canada side. Still is not allowed a hit. Only faced 10 batters through the first 3 innings. Sheriff with pitch number 37 and strike number 28, kicking things off here in the bottom of the 4th. Opens things up against Dasan Brown, who he is the dude for this Canada roster. Dasan Brown, one of a 20-man roster of really talented players, but he may be head and shoulders above the rest. A 3rd-round draft selection of the Toronto Blue Jays in the Major League Baseball first-year player draft in the United States and Canada this year. Dasan is now, according to MLB Pipeline, a scouting site affiliated with MLB.com, the official site of Major League Baseball in the U.S. Dasan Brown is the 18th ranked prospect in the Toronto Blue Jays organization now. Swing and a ball in the air to left. Jalen Ray and the center fielder Alex Skepton converging, and in left center, it's Skepton the one to make the call on the catch, and Brown is gone to bring up TJ Schofield Sam. Schofield Sam, born in Mississauga, Ontario.
Now hitting 18. TJ Schofield Sam.
Went to school in Brampton, Ontario, drafted in the 12th round by the Oakland Athletics. And got his professional baseball career started with 22 games in the rookie-level Arizona League in minor league baseball in the United States. That's one of the entry-level leagues, if you will. Schofield Sam in the lineup and at 3rd base defensively today, and he puts one in the air. Also out toward left center, and this time it's the shortstop Byron Armstrong making the call on the catch. And man, Will Sheriff is flummoxing everybody wearing a red jersey so far today. 2 outs, bases empty for the 4th straight inning against this Australia lefty.
Now hitting 47. Ryan Reach. Catcher.
One thing you got to love about both of these pitchers also, they get the ball and they go to work. There is not a whole lot of waiting around. There's not a whole lot of asking for another run through the signs. There's a 20-second pitch clock here at the U-18 Baseball World Cup, and that thing rarely gets under 13 seconds or so before these guys are in the windup. That took 5 seconds from the time Sheriff was back on the mound to when he threw that pitch. And it results in the 3rd out of the inning. A fly out to center, a pop out to short, a pop out to second. 3 up, 3 down goes Canada in the 4th. Ryan Sheriff has been a master so far. We head to the 5th inning, Australia with a 2-0 lead over Canada on the makeup day of the 2019 WBSC U-18 Baseball World Cup's opening round. Top of the 5th inning, Australia 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. Canada no runs, no hits, 1 error through 4 completed here in the final day of the opening round of the 2019 WBSC U-18 Baseball World Cup. Australia manager Steve Fish looking on as he and his team try to add to this 2-run lead going into the top of the 5th, and a first pitch fastball slips out of the hand of Antoine John to Liam McCallum, the first baseman. 1 ball and no strikes. Antoine John faced this Australia team in that exhibition series back in Lismore, New South Wales, prior to these two teams departing to come here to the Republic of Korea for this U-18 Baseball World Cup, and threw really well in that game. So well, in fact, that Canada lined up Antoine John to face Australia back on Monday. And when that game was rained out, rather than just having him pitch Tuesday to keep him more on regular rest, they bumped him back to today to go in this rescheduled matchup. 2-1 there for a called strike at the top part of the zone. But the Aussies have put some innings together against him. 2-2, swing and a miss. Antoine John is feeling it right now. That is the 4th strikeout of the last 5 batters he has seen, and his 6th K for the day, as Liam McCallum has gone on strikes for the first out here in the top half of the 5th, and that brings up the 9-hole hitter Alex Skepton. Skepton was the one to get it started in the 3rd. He smoked a leadoff double to center field over the head of Desan Brown. And with 1 out, he climbs in there. Base is empty. Outfield straight away against him. This field number 2 at the Gijang-Hyundai Dream Ballpark complex, has as beautiful of a backdrop as you will ever see in any baseball field anywhere in the world. You've got mountains behind the outfield walls pretty much everywhere in this complex, but the peaks behind left field and center field here at field number 2 are just, they're almost distracting as that ball cranked off of the leg of Skepton. He'll get back in there. That is a real old school Spikes look from Alex Skepton, the all black shoes look. That's like some baseball player's shoes from the 1930s. No balls and 2 strikes on the Australia center fielder. And able to stay alive on 0-2. There is some pretty heavy fog and mist covering the peaks of those mountains out in left and center. But it kind of tells you as the fan job continues in the first base dugout. There's a ball again off the end of the bat. This one falling in a hurry to center, and it's going to get down in front of Brown. So Alex Skepton has gone to center field with 2 hits out of the 9 spot today for Australia, and he puts himself on as a 1-out base runner. That was Connor Miles on the right of your screen, using one of the fans, I think it was a hat, trying to keep his starter Will Sheriff cooled off a little bit in that first base dugout. Travis Bazzana swinging a grounder right side. Up with it, Hamill to second for 1. Return throw to first, not in time to get the speedy leadoff hitting second baseman. Fielder's choice cuts down the lead runner 4-6. Now 2 outs. man at first for Jalen Ray.
이번 타자 좌익수 제일린 웨이.
Now hitting.
One of our other broadcasters, Jason Schwartz,
Left field.
who's been here doing games with myself and Craig Durham over the last 5 days of this opening round. Jason said is now we got the runner picked off between first and second and trying to get in there ahead of the tag. A swim move from Travis Bazzana, but he is picked off. 1-3-6 goes the out and ends the story. And we'll head to the bottom of the fifth. Australia doesn't bring anything across despite a couple of base runners. Still a 2-0 lead going to the bottom of 5 in Gijang.
오웬의 캐나다 공격. 5번 지명 타자 오웬 디오가티.
Bottom of the fifth inning. 38. Owen Diogati is native hitter.
Two runs on 3 hits, no errors for Australia. No runs, no hits through the first 4 innings for Canada as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Back at Gijang-Hyundai Dream Ballpark. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 5th. Owen Diodati bounces out to second base the same way that he did in his first trip to the plate back in the 2nd inning.
6번 타자 좌익수 시저 발레로.
Now hitting. Cesar Valero. Left
And with 1 gone, Cesar Valero steps into the batter's box. Will Sheriff is kind of the classic guy who, when he is frustrating a lineup, when you're a hitter, you go back into the dugout thinking, man, this guy is not even that good and I can't get a hit against him. And that is what makes pitchers like this so brilliant, because they don't blow you away. They're not throwing 98 miles per hour. They're not in the upper 150s in kilometers per hour. And they are that good, but you feel like, well, these are pitches that I should be able to hit. I should be able to handle them. But the Greg Maddoxes of the world, who couldn't break a pane of glass with their fastballs and were still some of the best pitchers in the history of the game, it's where they spot, it's how they pitch, it's the movement, the control and the command, and those are the things that stymie hitters, and Will Sheriff has been able to do that today against this Canada lineup, and he's got Cesar Valero on a 2-strike count. Sheriff kicks and comes home on 2-2. That ball driven well to left field. Valero flips the bat, tracking it back to the wall, looking up, this ball is gone. Is Jalen, no, check that, it's off of that netting. Completely miscalled that one as Jalen Ray was looking up at the last second. We've got a beam right in front of us. I thought Ray had watched that go. And Cesar Valero instead pulls into second with the first hit of the game. Thought he had gotten his team onto the board as well. Cesar Valero, he knew he got a lot of it, flipped that bat aside, and high off of that top portion of the permanent wall, and Valero puts himself in scoring position. He is the first Canada base runner past first base in this game, and Noah Hull spoils the first pitch foul. You get so anxious. You haven't called a home run the entire tournament. You just want to see one, and then you butcher a call on a double. It's fun. So Will Sheriff working with a man behind him at second base for the first time today. Terrific job by Noah Hull to lay off of a good breaking ball. Check with Daenam Kim down at third base, and he confirms no swing from Hull. Talked about this before in this tournament. The official baseball rules, the definition of a swing is really, really subjective. It basically just says if a hitter has shown an intent to swing the bat. You hear all these things, if the bat breaks the plane of the plate, or if the wrists break, if they look like they came across, or all this type of stuff. None of that's in the rule book. It's at an umpire's discretion of whether or not a hitter intended to swing the bat. 2-1. Low, 3 balls and a strike. Cesar Valero out at second base, energizing his dugout for the first time in a while on the offensive side. Will Sheriff kicks and comes home. This one tapped foul. And the count is now actually full. We've got it at 2-2 on the bug, but it's a 3-2 count. Chris Burke wants a moment to talk things over with his left-hander. Good effort over there in the first base dugout. Burke back behind the dish. And Noah Hull will play his collegiate baseball at Iowa Western Community College in the United States, a really, really good junior college program, not a 4-year program like the major universities in the U.S., but one that springboards a lot of players to those major universities. 3-2 on the way to him. Breaking ball stays high for ball 4, and it's first and second with 1 out.
오스틴 곰.
Now hitting 27, Austin Gong, shortstop.
So Austin Gom into the box. First pitch to the shortstop is high and away. It's ball 1. We have not seen Will Sheriff have to deal with base traffic basically at all. Elijah Hamill reached on a strikeout wild pitch with 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and Micah McDowell grounded out quickly right behind him to end that threat. Can't even really call it a threat with a man on 1st and 2 gone. Pitch there for a called strike on 2-0, and Sheriff's gotten himself into the count. It's 2-1. Gone the shortstop. Elijah Hamill's right behind him in the on-deck circle. Sheriff ready. 2-1. Just below the knees. 3 balls and a strike now. That Canada dugout electrified at the moment. That is basically where Chris Burke wanted that pitch. But Gom didn't go for it. There's a swing and a shot to right field. Will that hang up long enough? It will. What a play by Solomon McGuire. And now back into second. He was trying to get the ball in behind Cesar Valero to maybe double him off. If Valero halfway between the 2nd and 3rd base bags. But Cesar was probably back in there anyway. Throw airmailed. What a terrific jump by Solomon McGuire. A great read. And actually, I take it back. That may have just been a throw in to get the ball ahead of the runner. But either way, great catch by McGuire. And now 2 outs. As Sheriff tries to get out of it, but Desan Brown down the left field line. This will get down in fair territory for a base hit. Valero will steam in to score. Here comes Noah Hull. He's getting the wave around 3rd base. Throw to the plate is not going to be in time. We're all tied up. Elijah Hamill down the left field line. Valero racing all the way around. Noah Hull, the big fella, from first. A 2-run double out of the 9 spot for Elijah Hamill, the 15-year-old. And Canada has drawn level 2-2 here in the bottom of the 5th. That is a great job by Noah Hull, by the way, with the throw kind of bringing Chris Burke into the baseline to be able to get around him and still drag your hand behind yourself to touch the plate. How about Elijah Hamill coming through? So Hamill leads away from second base now, and he's the potential go-ahead run as Micah McDowell steps in. Swinging a fly ball, well struck to right field. Going back on this one, McGuire to the warning track, to the wall, gone! Canada roars back with 2 outs to take a 4-2 lead. What a blast off of the bat of the leadoff man, Micah McDowell. Didn't know he got all of it. He was flying up the first baseline and then gets his time to take the trot, and that will do it for Will Sheriff. Untouchable through 4 innings. And here in the 5th, Canada has broken through. Australia going to the bullpen. We'll tell you about the reliever when we return. Canada with a 4-2 lead in the 5th inning.
공격을 시작했습니다. 투수 캐런 핫.
Now coming into pitch for Team Australia, 23, Kieran Hall.
Come on now.
Ball game that has changed tenor in a hurry here in the bottom of the 5th inning, as Australia will go to the bullpen for the first time today and bring on the right-hander Kieran Hall. So the morning / now afternoon has come to a close for Will Sheriff, who was absolutely brilliant through his first 4 innings. And departs now having allowed 4 runs on 3 hits. The book closed on him as Micah McDowell's home run sends him out of the game. Desan Brown 0 for 2 today against Sheriff. Into the batter's box, trying to keep this 5th inning rally alive for Canada. 4 runs across. Canada had 1 base runner and no hits coming into this inning. And Kieran Hall has put the count at 3-1 on Desan Brown. Australia's bats had some big opportunities in the first inning, only got 1 run, got another one in the 3rd. And now staring down a 4-2 deficit as Desan Brown takes the walk and puts himself on with 2 outs Near the bottom of the 5th.
타자 3루수 TJ 스코필드
So it
쌤.
looked as though Cesar Valero had the first homer of the game for Canada. Hit one high off the left field wall down the line. Got into second base. Was aboard when Elijah Hamill came through with a 2-run double. As the runner's off the pitch, throw to second, and they got Desan Brown. Man, oh man. No, they didn't. That I certainly thought was a tag that had gotten on Brown's hand, and he got around it with that swim move. He's actually out there miming the swim move right now to the dugout. And Desan Brown, that throw was there in plenty of time, but look at this slide. That's just a whiff on the tag, and that's not anything that Byron Armstrong can really do. This one's out to second, kicked briefly out there by Travis Busan, and now he's not going to have a play. Everything falling apart for Australia here in the bottom of the 5th. Bazana had that ball back in his glove in enough time, but that little fumble trying to get it out of the glove and unable to get it to first. So TJ Schofield Sam is on. Desan Brown, after that stolen base, able to motor into third on what will go as an error charged to the second baseman, Travis Bazana. We got a visit to the pitcher's mound from Graham Lloyd. Also a visit to check on Schofield Sam, who dove head first into the first base bag and is being visited by Canada's athletic trainer, Nicholas Halkidis, but appears to be all right. He wants one of the protective kind of oven mitt looking gloves that base runners use. I think that's what Schofield Sam is asking for from the dugout. Yeah, I'll get one of those and put it on, as Kieran Hall still trying to get out of this inning with no more damage done by Canada, and now he's into the teeth of this Canada lineup with Ryan Leach, the 9th man to bat in the inning. Canada's cleanup hitter, the big catcher. Runners at the corners, he swings and skies one in the air, well hit to center. Moving back on it, Alex Skepton into the alleyway. He's there to make the grab, and that retires the side. But a 4-run bottom of the 5th inning has turned this game around, and we head to the 6th. Canada out in front, 4-2 over Australia.
All in on D, 1, 2, 3. Come on, boys.
Brand new ball game as we head to the top half of the 6th inning. Australia with a 2-0 lead going to the bottom of 5. Canada has turned that around with 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th. A couple of doubles on balls clubbed to the outfield and a 2-run homer, the big shot from Micah McDowell in the inning, giving Canada its first lead of the ball game. And we head to the top half of the 6th. Back at Gijang-Hyundai Dream Ballpark Field number 2. My name is Tyler Mon. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 for Australia, trying to get right back into this game. Jalen Ray will lead things off, the left fielder. Chris Burke, the catcher, and Connor Miles, the designated hitter. There's a swing and a broken bat flare right side. That'll get on past Elijah Hamill and into right field. That's a great effort by Micah McDowell coming in and hustling a throw to first base. But Jalen Ray has himself a broken bat leadoff single to get Australia started in the top of the 6th inning.
3번 타자 포수 크리스 버크.
Now hitting 14, Chris Buck, catcher.
So good speed aboard in Jalen Ray, as Australia tries to get the offense restarted against this lefty, Antoine Jean. Time called at the plate by Chris Burke, the catcher. Burke batting out of the 3 spot in the order. Swinging a shot down the right field line. If this stays fair, it's trouble, and that is a fair ball, or not. Thought that it hit off the wall on the fair side of that painted stripe, but first base umpire Ernesto Del Risco right on top of that call, and Chris Burke will climb back into the batter's box. Connor Miles, the designated hitter, just looked over at the dugout and shook his head like, no, it was foul, and that thing definitely was, as you can see on replay. Sigh of relief breathed by guys out there in red jerseys today. Hitters count, though, for Chris Burke, who is 1 for 2 today with an RBI double back in the 3rd. 2-1 from the lefty, Jean. That's high. Australia's Damian Shanahan down in the 3rd base coach's box. And that's Gareth Jones at the first base side. Members of this 5-man coaching staff for Australia. Weave and a miss on 3-1. That was probably ball 4, and Chris Burke knew it, kind of frustrated with himself for having gone after that pitch. 3-2 on the way from Jean. Swing and a miss. Antoine Jean comes back and gets a strikeout of Chris Burke, the 7th of his day. And Antoine Jean, this thing looked shaky early on, and he is putting together a gem right now. Walked the first 2 batters he faced. He has not issued a walk since. 7 strikeouts since that time. Just the run in the first and the run in the third, and Canada's offense coming to his aid with 4 in the bottom of the 5th to take the lead. Now he's in against Connor Miles. That entire Australia dugout sniffing out the pick move over to first base as Jalen Ray is back in there. Big cut and miss on a changeup. No balls and 2 strikes now on Connor Miles. These 2 teams talked about their familiarity just at this level, and between these 2 specific squads this year, having seen each other for an exhibition series prior to this tournament, 1-2 is away. Australia is 1-3 against Canada in its last 4 matchups against its fellow Commonwealth nation in this event. Here's a swing and a liner out towards center field that'll dunk down for a base hit. First and second now with 1 out. Connor Miles has his first hit of the day. Little blooper that drops in. So Jalen Ray to second, Miles at first. That brings up the dude you really want at the plate, Solomon McGuire, who is 0 for 2 today with a couple of strikeouts, but was 7 for 15 with 6 RBIs entering the day today in the tournament. Last time Australia beat Canada in the U-18 Baseball World Cup was all the way back in 2008 in the quarterfinals of that year's matchup. Canada in a 3-game winning streak against Australia in this tournament, including a first-round victory in 2017 on home soil for the Canadians. 8-2 they knocked off Australia. Both teams made it through to the Super Round last time. Back in the Super Round of the 2015 tournament, Canada knocked off Australia 10-3 and beat Australia in 2013 in the 7th and 8th place deciding game. 17-3 was the final in that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Canada 3-1 coming into the day today, trying to avoid its 3rd straight 3-2 opening round mark in this competition. 2015 and 2017, that was their mark after the first 5 games. Australia 2-2 and trying to make everybody 3-2 in this matchup. They're gonna have to rally to do it. 1-2 on the way to McGuire. Off the plate, puts the count even. A lot of big matchups today in these makeup games. South Africa and Spain will meet a little while later. China and the Netherlands as well. Not quite the same implications for those, although the Netherlands still with a shot at the Super Round. As here's a bouncer to the right side. It's going to move both runners up, and man, oh man, flying up the first baseline. The out still recorded as Solomon McGuire has put out 4-3, but he made it interesting. And look at McGuire hustling, and Noah Hull had to get back to the bag quickly. And that throw beats McGuire by a half a step, but it puts Jalen Ray and Connor Miles both in scoring position, the potential game-tying runs. And it's also going to bring Greg Hamilton out of the dugout on the third base side to go to his bullpen. Or will it? Hamilton is not called. Now he'll make the official signal out there to go to the relief corps, and after a stellar 5 2/3 innings, the day has come to a close for the left-hander Antoine Jean. Canada will go to the bullpen. We'll tell you about the relief arm when we return. A couple aboard for Australia trying to rally. 4-2, Canada leads at top of the 6th in Gijang.
캐나다 선수 교체했겠습니다. 투수 일라이 사우.
Now coming into pitch for Team Canada, 45, Elias Saul.
빅뱅크자 3루수 리안 맥도날드.
Now hitting, 44, Liam McDonald.
Canada goes to the bullpen for the first time today as the new arm into the game for this squad is the right-hander Elias Saul, who takes over on the hill after a terrific start by Antoine Jean, who is still responsible for the 2 runners aboard. But if Saul can get out of it, in addition to inspiring a whole bunch of Better Call Saul tweets, he will strand the potential tying runs on and get Canada back to the bat rack in the 6th with a 4-2 lead. Liam McDonald, the man in to see him. Couple of strikeouts today against Antoine Jean. 1-1 off the plate outside. Liam coming into the day today just 2 for 15 in the tournament, now 2 for 17. Both of his strikeouts were swinging. The 2nd and 5th of the day for Jean, who finishes his day 5 2/3, 5 hits, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks. As of right now, 2 runs allowed. Only one of those runs earned, by the way. That run in the first inning was unearned for Antoine Jean. 3 balls, 1 strike. Hitters count here for Liam McDonald, the big third baseman. Ray and Miles on. Ray at third base, Miles at second, each with singles. Advancing on Solomon McGuire's ground out to the right side for the 2nd out of the inning. Saul ready, 3-1 pitch. Big cut and miss. Man, that was the pitch that Liam McDonald wanted. Little 2-seamer that just got in on the hands of McDonald a little bit, maybe more than he thought it would. 3-2. Ball 4, they are loaded up for Byron Armstrong. You just knew that this game was going to be a classic, and here we are in the 6th. It is not disappointed. 2 runs for Australia, 1 in the first, 1 in the 3rd. 4 back for Canada to take the lead in the bottom of the 5th. And Australia right back to threaten in the 6th. As here is Byron Armstrong. First pitch swinging, a ball shot out toward left center field. This will split the alleyway and it could clear the bases. In to score from 3rd is Ray. From 2nd is Miles. McDonald all the way around from 1st. It's a bases clearing double for Byron Armstrong and a 5-4 Australia lead in the 6th. Absolutely can't put it there. And Byron Armstrong, give Byron Armstrong a lot of credit, because you're coming into a situation with all those nerves, all this energy. It's right after a walk. And to know the pitch that you're looking for, go after it and put that swing on it and give your team the lead back. What a huge moment for Australia. The first pitch is high to the 8-hole hitter, the first baseman, Liam McCallum. It's ball 1. Saul kicks and comes home on 1-0. That's outside, 2 balls and no strikes. So, Will Sheriff no longer on the hook. His day is done. And Antoine Jean, the book will close on him. He'll be charged with 4 total runs, 3 earned. As McCallum Alum obviously went around there. First strike of the at-bat, it's 2-1. Skies this pitch away down the left field line. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two. That ball is tagged well to left field, but Valero's got a beat on it, and he makes the grab to retire the side. But Byron Armstrong comes through with a bases-clearing double, and Australia right back out in front. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th. Australia 5 and Canada 4.
Let's go. Same thing. Head up. Let's go. Head up. Let's go. Head up. Let's go. We're doing it. Let's go. Hey, we got the last bat. 3 more bats. Let's go. Let's go.
We are locked in one heck of a fun ball game as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. That's the hero right now for Australia. The shortstop Byron Armstrong blistering a 3-run double to left center field with 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning to wrestle the lead right back from Canada. The Aussies had a 2-0 lead going to the bottom of the 5th, gave up 4, and they get 3 back in the 6th to take the lead once more. And we head into the bottom of the 6th inning, and the same guy who got things started last inning for this Canada squad, the 5-hole hitter and the designated hitter Owen Diodati, faces a 1-1 count. Owen was drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays, but went to play his collegiate baseball at the University of Alabama in the United States.
Come on.
1-2 pitch up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Owen is not only a very, very good young baseball player, but like a lot of guys who have come through this Baseball Canada program in recent years, as he swings and crushes this ball out to left center field. Ray and Skepton moving back on it to the warning track. Alex Skepton pulls it in. 1 up, 1 down in the 6th. Diodati, also a hockey player, drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays in the 29th round last year, or this year I should say, and decided on going to pursue his education at the University of Alabama, but also member of the North Bay Battalion in the Ontario Hockey League. Nice hockey player back home. Here's the guy who got it started last inning for this Canada squad, Cesar Valero, who doubled to left field on a ball that I thought got out of here. Slips low and away. Kieran Hall, who came on last inning in relief of Will Sheriff, still out there, his first full inning of work for Australia. Valero doubled to left, came home on Elijah Hamill's 2-out double 3 batters later. Already, 3-1 pitch. There for strike 2. Kieran Hall in the tournament as a member of this Australia pitching staff. This is his 3rd appearance in relief. He had thrown an inning and a third of scoreless ball, hitless ball as well. A walk and a strikeout coming into the day. Maybe playable first base side and out of the reach off of the roof of that first base dugout. Chris Burke, a good effort. Takahashi Shinya, our home plate umpire, needs some more baseballs. Heads over to the third base dugout to get some. Three balls, 2 strikes on Valero. Dangerous bat out of the 6th spot in this Canada lineup. 4 for 13 coming into the day today with an OPS of 885 for the tournament. He's got himself a walk. On with 1 out for the 2nd straight inning. And that brings up Noah Hull. Hull walked last inning. The only walk issued by Will Sheriff in his 4 2/3. Will Sheriff absolutely brilliant through his first 4 innings. Only faced 1 batter over the minimum on a strikeout wild pitch, and here's a swing and a drive off the bat of Noah Hull to right field. It sends Solomon McGuire back, and he'll pull it in ahead of the warning track. Hull put a charge into it, but just not much is carrying at these Gijang-Hyundai Dream Park fields. Although I will say today, and this is the first time that I've seen this today, the flags vary slightly, but the flags are blowing out to center field. Not something that has been a real common thread throughout the tournament. Most days they've been blowing in and toward one of the foul lines. So 2 outs. Valero at first base. And Austin Gom, the shortstop. Swings at the 1-0. Tapper left side. This is going to be a tough play. Hall's got it and is thrown to first just in time to get Austin Gom. That retires the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left on. Canada gone scoreless in the 6th. We head to the final 3 innings of this ball game. A 1-run showdown. Australia with a 5-4 lead over Canada.
초 후초 공격 9번 타자 기존수 알렉스 캡톤.
At the top of the 7th inning, number 8, Alexis Captain, center fielder.
It's been a great day out of the 9 spot in Australia's order for center fielder Alex Skepton. He'll lead things off as we head into the top half of the 7th inning back at Gijang-Hyundai Dream Ballpark. Field number 3, actually check that, field number 2 tonight in Gijang-Gun in the Republic of Korea. The Group A matchup we find ourselves in right now has been a good one. Australia with the 1-run lead, 5-4. Alex Skepton, a double and a run scored back in the first inning, a single in the fifth. He is 2 for 2. And Alex coming into the day today had already put together a pretty good first few games of the tournament. It was 3 for his first 11. And he'll put this one in the air to center field. Deshaun Brown of the Toronto Blue Jays organization coming in to make the catch. Leadoff man retired. And we go back to the top of the Australia order. And Travis Pizzana. Met Travis's dad today.
Now hitting, Travis Pizzana.
Got a chance to talk with Gary about Australian baseball and this team, the travel schedule for Australia getting here, the matchups with Canada beforehand. It's so cool to see the respect between these two programs as this ball's driven in the air out to left field. It sends Valero back, reaching out at the last second. Great grab by Cesar Valero, who pulls it in. Man, he is fun to watch. Such a smooth ride to that ball. That's not an easy ball to play out in left field. It's slicing back toward you off of a left-handed hitter. And Valero, so fluid. And then the style points with the bounce off of the wall. So 2 outs, bases empty. Here's Jalen Ray, the left fielder. Uncorked back to the screen, Elias Saul. Next pitch will be number 20 for him, and it's on the ground left side and past the dive of TJ Schofield Sam on into left field. 2-out single for Jalen Ray, his second hit of the ball game. He's aboard for Chris Burke here in the 7th.
Now hitting, 13, Chris Burke, catcher.
Good effort by both Schofield Sam, the third baseman, and Austin Gom, the shortstop. First pitch there for a called strike to Chris Burke. Burke 1 for 3 today. Drove in a run on a fielder's choice that was coupled with an error back in the first inning, charged to Canada first baseman Noah Hull on a throw, trying to get a runner at second. Burke then doubled in the third. That brought home a run as well. Scored Alex Skepton, which gave Australia at the time a 2-0 lead. Canada 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning to take the lead back. Take the lead for the first time, I should say. And then Australia took the lead back with a bases clearing double in the top of the 6th off the bat of Byron Armstrong. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's that kind of palm ball grip that looked like from the right-hander Saul. Eli comes set. And a swing and a shot to right field. Right at Micah McDowell, who's there to play it. And the side is retired in the 7th. 2-out single does no damage. Go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Australia with a 1-run lead over Canada, 5-4 on the final day of the 2019 WBSC U-18 Baseball World Cup opening round from Gijang in the Republic of Korea.
Go, get back. Let's go, come on. Right place, right time. Here we go. Let's go, come on. Keep it simple. Simple, right? Right here, come on.
Hey, need base runners, boys, go. Intensity up here.
Let's go.
Back at Gijang-Hyundai Dream Ballpark, field number 2. We're headed to the bottom of the 7th inning. Australia's starter with a terrific day today, Will Sheriff, kind of ran out of steam at the end, but he's off the hook now for the loss as we cruise along into the bottom of the 7th inning. Kieran Hall has come on and steadied things for Australia on the mound. Allowed a 1-out base runner last inning, did no damage, and here comes Elijah Hamill to get things started in the bottom of the 7th. Hamill got his team onto the board. Switch hitting infielders in the lineup in the 9 spot and at second base. Elijah, just 15 years old, and he crushed a double down the left field line to score Cesar Valero and Noah Hull. First 2 runs of the 5th inning, and then 1 batter later, Micah McDowell left the yard on a big fly to right to give his team its first and short-lived lead of the day. 2-ball, no-strike count on Hamill. Oh, it's 3-0 right out of the gate here in the bottom of the 7th. Hamill can afford to be real patient here. Taken all the way, and that pitch is there for a strike. 3-1 on the way. Kieran Hall kicks and comes home on 3-2, and a called strike 3 on the inside corner freezes Elijah Hamill. 1 out in the 7th.
Micah McDowell.
Now hitting 3-4. Micah McDowell, right fielder.
Back to the top of the order we go, and Micah McDowell. McDowell 0 for 2 his first couple of trips to the plate, and then came through with that monster shot, the 2-run homer out to right field in the 5th inning. 1 breaking pitch into the dirt. Count goes in McDowell's favor. Two 1 on the way. 3 balls and a strike. This was the blast. What a moment for Micah McDowell out of the leadoff spot. And the celebration that followed at Canada dugout was electric. Then 1 inning later, Australia stormed right back to retake the lead at 5-4, and that's where we sit right now. 3-2. Good at bat from the left-handed hitting right fielder. They are in the top of the 6th inning over on field number 3. Netherlands with a 5-4 lead over China. China hanging tough in that game. Still in search of its first win of the tournament is China. Netherlands trying to move to 3-2 and keep Super Round hopes alive. 3-2 pitch, called strike 3. Same fastball over the inside corner that froze Hamill. Also gets McDowell. 2 backwards Ks to start the 7th, and that'll bring up Desan Brown. And immediately Steve Fish out of the first base dugout. This looks more like a a word of encouragement than anything else, as he only wants to talk with his reliever Kieran Hall and his catcher Chris Burke. And the Australian manager, pat on the backside for the right-hander, will head back into the dugout on that first base side. Steve Fish, like I said a little while ago, attended the University of Nebraska in the United States, the American-born Australian manager. He was an academic All-Big 8 first-team selection in 1996, and then a Big 12 honorable mention as a starting pitcher in 97 when the conference expanded, in which Nebraska played at the time its baseball. 22nd round draft pick of the then Anaheim Angels in 1997. He made it as high as Double-A 2 years later, then pitched a little while in independent ball, ended up in Australia. Managed the Claxton Shield champion Perth Heat in the Australian Baseball League in 2013-14 and the 2014-15 ABL seasons. And now doing work with youth programs, not just at the national level, but all across the spectrum of youth baseball in Australia, as the count is a ball and 2 strikes on Desan Brown. Brown 0 for 2 today, a walk and a stolen base. Trying to put himself on as a scary base runner here in the 7th, and great job to lay off of that pitch as he holds up and lives to see a 2-2. That is a tough breaking ball. 2-2 into the dirt. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hall kicks and deals. 3-2. Spoiled. This is the guy you want up there if you're Canada. Try to get a 2-out rally started. McDowell you'd take as well. The burner speed at the top of this Canada lineup is pretty incredible. 3-2 on the way is low for ball 4, and that's the thing you don't want to do if you're Australia. Desan Brown walks for the 2nd straight time. There is a very good likelihood he's going to be on the move. And that will bring the end of the day for the right-handed reliever Kieran Hall. So Hall starts the inning with back-to-back strikeouts. And now he will depart with TJ Schofield. Sam headed into the batter's box. Step aside for a timeout. Tell you about the new Australia reliever when we return. 5-4. Aussies out in front of Canada here in the 7th.
모두 선수 찾겠습니다. 투수 쿠퍼 모건.
Now coming to speak is the team of Australia, number 3, Cooper Morgan.
New arm to the game for Australia as we move along here in the bottom of the 7th inning. A 5-4 lead for Cooper Morgan, the left-hander who takes over on the hill, trying to close out this 7th after a 2-out walk issued by Kieran Hall puts Desan Brown aboard. This move does 2 things for Australia. In addition to getting a left-handed pitcher onto the mound to face a left-handed hitter, TJ Schofield Sam coming up. It's also a lefty pitcher that, if you are Australia, you're hoping can keep Desan Brown from getting too big of a jump if he does in fact decide to steal. Desan Brown's speed is elite level, and talking elite. He has a 70 graded run tool via MLB Pipeline Scouts, with his ranking in the Toronto Blue Jays organization as the 18th ranked prospect in that system. The baseball scouting scale goes from 20 to 80 in Major League Baseball in the United States. It doesn't make any sense. I don't get it either. But 70 is just about as good as it gets. And there are some scouts who have Desan Brown's speed graded as an 80. And that is top end. It doesn't get any better than that. 1-0 grounded right side. Tough hop, but a great job by Travis Pisana to stick with it. And he retires TJ Schofield. Sam, terrific job by Cooper Morgan as well, who comes on and gets the job done. We go to the 8th. Australia 5 and Canada 4.
캐나다 선수 체크했습니다. 투수 코너 오하로안.
Now coming into pitch for Team Canada.
5-4 lead for Australia over Canada as we move into the top half of the 8th inning. Back at Gijang-Hyundai Dream Ballpark, field number 2. Australia trying to punch its ticket onto the super round of the 2019 WBSC U-18 Baseball World Cup here in Gijong in the Republic of Korea, and a new arm into the game for Canada as we go to the 8th. Connor O'Halloran will take over from Eli Saul.
그렇죠. 이승조. 새로운 정타자 코너 마이스.
O'Halloran, the lefty.
31, Connor Myers is moving forward.
He will get set to square off with left-handed hitting DH Connor Miles, who steps into the batter's box to get this 8th inning underway. Australia would love some insurance. 1-run lead. They had a 2-run lead that evaporated in the 5th. Got it back thanks to the bases loaded knock on a double power to left center field by Byron Armstrong. 0-1 mix-up there between O'Halloran and Ryan Leach, the catcher. Leach was expecting a breaking ball and got a fastball off the knee. And perplexed, obviously, as he looks out at his lefty. There's the breaking ball, and that's high. Two-one, swinging through it. Miles couldn't get a piece. 2-2, little cue shot, a cricket swing that sends a liner down to Schofield. Sam, 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the 8th.
오버투자 우익수 솔로몬 맥과이어.
Now hitting number 10, Solomon McGuire, right field.
So it brings up Solomon McGuire, 0 for 3. Swinging a bouncing ball up the middle. First hit of the day for McGuire, who had come into this day as one of the hottest hitters in Australia's lineup. And hitless prior to that swing. And does just enough to flare it out past the infield and on into center and set things up for Liam McDonald, who's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts, a walk and a run scored. O'Halloran, nice pitch over the outside part of the plate. Liam McDonald coming into the afternoon. Kind of a scuffle to start this tournament. Just 2 hits through the tournament's first 4 games for Australia for McDonald. But you can forget all that stuff. You start coming through here in these late innings. Big cut and miss there on 1-2. And McDonald has his 3rd strikeout of the afternoon. And that'll send it to the hero of the moment for Australia, Byron Armstrong.
Byron Armstrong, shortstop.
Armstrong had popped out to first and flown out to right field in his first 2 at-bats. And then after watching Liam McDonald work a 6th inning walk to load the bases, Armstrong swung at the first pitch he saw from Eli Saul and smoked it into left center to bring home Jalen Ray, Connor Miles, and McDonald and give Australia the lead back at 5-4. Here we are in the 8th. Swings at the 2-0 and sends it back into the screen. O'Halloran, that closed set, deals 2-1, foul down the right field line. Final line in this game, by the way, for Kieran Hall on the Australia side. 2 innings, no hits, no runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. For Eli Saul, an inning and a third, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, no strikeouts. O'Halloran digs home on the 2-2, puts it high. He digs that front spike in and kind of almost curls his foot back toward the pitcher's rubber, that front foot. Home on 3-2, it's ball 4. 1st and 2nd now with 2 gone in the 8th. Big spot here as we get lower in this Australia order. Liam McCallum, the 8-hole hitter, 0 for 3, but right behind him, Alex Skepton, 2 for 3, a double and a run scored in the 3rd, and a single back in the 5th, and he hit the ball well his last time up, flying out to center field to start the 7th inning. There's something going on the other field. They are in the bottom of the 6th inning. We can hear the horns and the whistles. Netherlands batting. They've got the bases loaded against China. And a 2-run single it was from Darryl Collins to give Netherlands a little bit of breathing room. 7-4 now, the lead over China. Here Liam McCallum trying to come through. Lefty-lefty matchup, fouls that ball off his foot, I believe. Yeah, right off of that right foot. Taking a moment to compose himself. No balls, 1 strike, 2 gone. Shot foul. Put the count firmly in favor of O'Halloran at 0-2. McCallum trying to keep the line moving here in the top of the 8th. Australia out hitting Canada 8-3 in this game, but just a 1-run lead at 5-4. 0-2. Swinging a shot up the middle. That's a base hit to center field. Coming around third base is McGuire. He's going to get waved in. Throw over the head of the backstop Leach. It's an RBI base hit for Liam McCallum, who holds at first. Now the ball gets away into center field. Another run's going to come home. The ball got to the backstop, and trying to hold Liam McCallum at first. The throw into second base, got past everybody there, into center. Desan Brown fumbled it, and 2 runs come across, and it's a 3-run lead for Australia in the 8th. So Byron Armstrong goes to third base on the hit. He'll come in on the error. McGuire scoring on the base hit. There may be 2 errors on that play, in fact, and yeah, it looks like there are. First one allowing the run to score. And it's also going to spell the end of the day for O'Halloran. Canada is headed to the bullpen. And we will tell you about the new arm when we return. Liam McCallum comes through in a huge spot for Australia. 7 for the lead with Canada going to its relievers again.
타자 선수 체크했습니다. 투수 에반 오투.
Now coming to pitch for Team Canada, 32, Evan O'Toole.
Evan O'Toole will take over on the mound for Canada, trying to close out what has turned into a problematic top of the 8th inning. 2 errors on that last play, allowing Byron Armstrong to score all the way from first on a single back up the middle by Liam McCallum. So the way that play goes, McCallum singles scored Solomon McGuire from second base. Armstrong went to second, then went to third on the first error, which went charged to Deshaun Brown, and then comes home on an error, I believe, charged to Ryan Leach. 1-0 pitch there for a strike. As O'Toole tries to get out of this thing against Alex Skepton with a man still on. O'Toole so far in the tournament. This is appearance number 2. He threw 1 inning in a matchup with Korea. That frustrating game for Canada in which Korea scored 6 in the bottom of the first inning. 7 straight hits to start that game, and Canada only lost it 8-5. Left 14 on base in that game, had 17 hits. O'Toole did good work out of the bullpen that day. He's got a 1-2 count right now on Skepton. Alex Skepton has put together some really, really good trips to the plate out of the 9 spot in the order. Swinging a flare out to second on a hop. Short route to the second base bag by Elijah Hamill, who will get McCallum, the lead runner, to retire the side. And that ends things here in the 8th. But Australia with a couple of massive insurance runs, and we go to the bottom of the 8th. Australia 7 and Canada 4.
Come on, here we go, here we go, here we go. Boys. We got this. Let's go right now, boys. Come on, let's go. We got this. Let's go. Let's go, Scott. 100%. We're on this guy. Let's go. Ain't shit.
Ticketed for the bottom of the 8th inning at Gijang-Hyundai Dream Ballpark in Gijang City in the Republic of Korea. A classic matchup today between Australia and Canada, and the guys in the first base dugout in the green jerseys with a little bit of breathing room as we head to the bottom of the 8th. You saw that scoreboard and the numbers that tell the tale right now for Canada as this ball's in the air to right field. Solomon McGuire, I think, might have lost that for a second, but able to recover and make the grab. Ryan Leach, first pitch swinging, 1 pitch, 1 out in the 8th. 4 runs, just 3 hits in this game for Canada. All of them coming in that 4-run 5th inning. And 3 errors. 2 of them on the same play last inning, allowing an extra run to score for Australia. Pitch there for a strike from Cooper Morgan to Owen Diodati. 5-hole hitter for Canada. No balls and a strike. That is what tells the story right now. Currently just past midnight on the East Coast of North America. 12:10 a.m. in Toronto. In Sydney, just an hour ahead of where we are here in Gijang-Gun. It is 2:10 in the afternoon on Wednesday. And Australian baseball fans with some tense moments as their team tries to punch its ticket to the Super Round. A big cut and miss from Owen Diodati. 3rd strikeout, or check that, 1st strikeout for Cooper Morgan, 3rd for the relief corps today for Australia. And with 2 outs and the bases empty, it brings up Cesar Valero. Valero, a double and a run scored back in the 5th. He walked in the 6th. Played a terrific left field today. And the Oregon State University roster member now. Entering his freshman year of college. 1-0 pitch shot out to right field, down for a base hit. Valero's got his 2nd hit of the night, or of the afternoon, I should say, and 3rd time on base and a big 2-out base hit.
Keeping
Canada going. That is the classic broadcaster cliche. Just a great piece of hitting there. But broadcasters always say for guys who hit the ball to the other field. Valero just staring that pitch down to the barrel and taking it the other way. Now this one's laced back up the middle off the bat, and Noah Hull, who jumps on a first pitch fastball. And don't look now, but Canada's got the tying run coming to the plate with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. First hit of the day for Noah Hull. And Austin Gom, trying to snap out of an 0-for-3 day, steps into the batter's box in a huge spot with 2 gone here in the bottom of the 8th for Canada. Morgan's first pitch fastball off the glove of Burke. Everybody's going to move up. See how big that moment ends up being. That is a mistake you really can't have. That was strange too, because it looked like Chris Burke caught that ball, and he must have felt like the ball glanced off the glove, because his motion after it initially went into the glove is what kind of threw it away. And this ball shot out over the shortstop, Armstrong, down in left center. It's gonna bring in 2. Canada is back to within a run with 3 straight 2-out hits in the 8th. Austin Gom breaks through a double to end his hitless day, and we are back to a 1-run ball game, 7-6. Australia with the lead.
That's what's up, baby. We're all over that. Let's go.
That thing, a shot, And the wild pitch does come into play. I mean, there is a chance, I guess, that both of those runs still score. If not for the wild pitch, certainly Valero would have scored. Hull raced all the way around from first base to score on Elijah Hamill's double back in the 5th inning, but still, wild pitch definitely helps. First pitch breaking ball is there for Hamill. It's a called strike. Hamill 1 for 3 today, a couple of strikeouts, but also delivered a key 2-run double in the 5th to get Canada on the board. Canada coming into this inning at 4 runs on 3 hits. All of it came in that 5th. And now they've got a trio of 2-out hits to claw back to within a run here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Just when you feel like maybe you can breathe a little more easily if you're an Australia fan. Canada right back into it with the go-ahead run at the plate and the tying run in scoring position. 0-2 pitch stays high and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Elijah Hamill, the young middle infielder. 1-2 on the way to him. Swing and a miss. Big time breaking ball from Cooper Morgan, who fans the 9-hole hitter for Canada. And we go to the 9th. Australia 7, Canada 6. Come on back to Gijang-Hyundai Dream Ballpark.
볼츠 호주 공격 1번 타자 이루수 트래비스 바자나.
To the top of the 9th we go, a 1-run game, Australia and Canada, 7-6 the score. A game that has seen a couple of lead changes, all kinds of drama, and now the thinnest of margins as we head into the final inning of regulation baseball, and the second pitch of the 9th will result in a leadoff out as Travis Bazzana is thrown out by the reliever Evan O'Toole. 1 gone, and here comes Jalen Ray. What a game this has been. A run for Australia in the 1st, a run in the 3rd, 4 in the bottom of the 5th inning for Canada to take its first and only lead of the day. Australia erased it with a 3-run 6th. Then the Aussies looked like they had gotten some breathing room with 2 in the top of the 8th as this ball is punched into right field. That'll be a base hit. The 3rd of the day for Jalen Ray, his 4th on base. A walk back in the 1st inning. But Canada erasing those 2 runs, 2 of its own in the bottom of the 8th inning. And here we are in the 9th. Australia once more trying to get some insurance. So Ray on, and we'll get time called. Greg Hamilton is headed to the pitcher's mound, the manager of this Canada team, and he is going to go to the bullpen. So a signal with the left arm, that'll close the day for Evan O'Toole. Hands the ball off, and Canada turns to its 4th reliever of the day. We'll tell you about him when we return. 7-6, the Aussies with the lead in the 9th, and a man on with 1 out.
Go.
가요? 파이브가 있어도? 가야 돼. 가고 요건 식구됐어. 갖고 그다음에 그냥 여기. 아, 갖고 있다는 거요? 근데 원래는 아니죠.
열대였을 때 아닌 거죠.
열대였을 때도
아 진짜요?
시기가 있잖아.
여기 이렇게 있으면 제가 여기 있어요. 이런 여기 쳤어요. 일단 따라가요.
따라가야 돼.
일단 따라가고
따라가.
있고
3루까지 따라가고
네,
따라가.
따라간 다음에 그 다음에
캐나다 선수 체크했습니다. 투수 저스틴 소스틴스.
시내를 따라.
아,
알겠습니다.
JT, shut down. Let's go. Get us back in here.
Fourth reliever out of the Canada bullpen is the left-hander Justin Thorstensen, who inherits a runner at first and one out of the ninth inning of a one-run game with super round tickets on the line. Canada and Australia, two teams that have seen each other a whole lot over the last couple of weeks, squaring off on what has turned into the final day of opening round action of the 2019 WBSC U-18 Baseball World Cup. Back at Gijang-Hyundai Dream Ballpark, Thorstensen's first offering goes into Chris Burke, the left-handed hitting catcher for Australia. And the 0-1 is a called strike as well. A couple of really good pitches to start Burke. Breaking ball, diving over the inside part of the plate at the knees. Lefty set, 0-2. In off the end of the bat, a flare to left field. That'll get down for a base hit. A little blooper that Chris Burke is able to muscle out over the shortstop Austin Gaume and down in front of Cesar Valero. Back-to-back Australia hits with one out in the ninth. Australia trying to add insurance to this one-run lead. The Netherlands has done so. They got 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning to go out in front 9-4 over China. A one-shot foul off the bat of Connor Miles. If Australia is able to hang on and win this game, it may be kind of a stunner, but Australia wins this group. Even with just a 3-2 overall record, which would finish behind the host Korea at 4-1, Australia beat Korea and will also have beaten Canada, the other team, onto the super round, as it looks like right now out of Group A. That puts the Aussies in the driver's seat to play for at least a medal, if not for the title of world champion. O2 on the way to Miles. Just below the knees. Thorstensen thought he had it. At least he's able to smile about it. A ball and 2 strikes now. Miles 1 for 4, single and a run scored. 1-2. Bounce back up the middle and past the dive of Elijah Hamill into center. Coming around third base, trying for the plate, Jalen Ray. Throw in time, and the tag is there as well. He's out. And Desan Brown literally waving goodbye to Jalen Ray from center field as he atones for the error in the 8th and throws out the runner. So the base hit back up the middle. Jalen Ray runs well, but Brown sets up, fields it perfectly, fires that seed on one hop, and that is a great job by Ryan Leach, who set up on the first base side of the plate, but was still able to catch and sweep the tag across to get the out. Chris Burke advances 1 station. So now he is in scoring position at second base, but it's just first and second. 2 outs. and Solomon McGuire's turn. McGuire, first hit of the day for the left-handed hitting right fielder. Last inning, he had a single and a run scored in that 2-run Australia 8th. One-0. Lefty ready, 1-1 pitch. Good block. Leach keeps it right there. Two one on the way. One's there to even the count at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Solomon McGuire came into this day as the hottest hitter in the Australia lineup. He is 1 for 4. Aussies with 3 straight hits against Canada relievers. 2-2 swing and a miss, and Canada heads to the bat rack, trying to rally in the bottom of the 9th. Come on back to Gijang-Hyundai Dream Ballpark. 1 run separates these two teams. Australia 7, Canada 6, going to the bottom of 9. Before the start of this game today, I went over to the Canada dugout and talked with Chris Begg, the pitching coach for this Canada national team, and over to the Australia dugout and talked with Graham Lloyd, the pitching coach for that team, and all either could talk about was the drama and the implications of today and how these two teams really wanted to face each other on a day like today with things like this at stake. And as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, this could not have been more of a classic. 7-6 is the score, and Cooper Morgan is back out there for Australia to try to close down a 1-run victory and not only win this game, but win this group for Australia. He's going to have to go through the top third of this Canada order to try to get there. Micah McDowell leading things off, a 2-run homer back in the 5th, a 1 for 4 day. Big cut and miss on a gorgeous curveball. And the count goes in favor of the lefty Morgan at a ball and 2 strikes. Next pitch is number 20 for Cooper. He has thrown 13 strikes in his first 19. 1-2. Little buzz of the tower. McDowell will climb back in. Morgan from the line. 2-2. Got it off the arm. Nope, they're not going to allow Micah McDowell to go to first because he did not make an attempt to get out of the way of that pitch. And I got to say, I agree with Takashi Shinya. Not only was there not an attempt to get out of the way of the pitch, Micah McDowell stuck his arm out to take that ball off of it, and you can't do it. So McDowell's going to have to stay in. That goes as a dead ball. I mean, that's pretty obvious on the replay. There are a lot of umpires who will let you get away with that. WBSC umpires are very, very good about enforcing that rule. And Micah McDowell's going to have to get back in there on 3-2. Greg Hamilton just voicing his displeasure with that call. Canada manager with Takahashi Shinya, our home plate umpire. Mark Capito from South Africa came in from second base. Ernesto Del Risco from Cuba, our first base umpire. Daniel Kim from Korea, our third base umpire. Takahashi Shinya from Japan. The thing, and I was talking about this with Mark Capito the other day, it's so cool, these umpiring crews, 4 members, all speaking 4 different languages, and they always are able to communicate just in this language of baseball as the flare to second is out number 1. And especially in a moment like that where you've got a manager coming out and he wants to communicate with his crew, they're so effective about being able to have these conversations as Steve Fish now will go out to the pitcher's mound. And he's going to go grab Cooper Morgan. So Morgan on to start this 9th inning against the left-handed bat of Micah McDowell. He does his job and gets the out, and Steve Fish will try to piecemeal this save here in the 9th as he'll go to the bullpen. Australia clinging to a 1-run lead, 7-6 the score, 1 out, bottom of the 9th inning in Gijang.
모두 선수가 체크했습니다. 투수 브레이크 카빌.
Now coming to pitch for Team Australia. Number 37, Ray Cobble.
One out, bottom of the 9th inning. Australia goes to the bullpen again, and the right-handed side armor Blake Cavell takes over on the mound. He will face at least Dasan Brown, the center fielder and Toronto Blue Jays prospect, who is set to step into the batter's box right now. He's the 2-hole hitter for Canada. TJ Schofield Sam behind him, a left-handed bat. We'll see what Australia's plan is when it gets to him. But Dasan Brown, one of the most dangerous talents in this tournament, takes the first pitch sliding away from him for ball 1. Brown has walked in each of his last 2 trips to the plate, stole second base in the 5th inning, and was stranded at first in the 7th. And he takes ball 2. A dude who you do not want to see on the base paths if you're Australia in a 1-run game. 2-0. Swinging a chopper left side, hard hit. McDonald's got the play to first in time to get him. That's the other thing with Dasan Brown. Anything slowly hit, and there is a better than good chance he can beat it out. But he hit that ball on the screws right to Liam McDonald. 2 gone.
두 번째 3루수 TJ 스코필드 샘.
And the task falls to TJ Schofield Sam, who actually walked to the plate staring into that first base dugout to see if Steve Fish was going to continue to go with the righty Blake Cavell, and instead he will go to a lefty to try to close this thing out with 1 more out. So Cavell comes on and does his job, gets a very dangerous bat in Dasan Brown, and departs with 1 out of terrific work as the Aussies head to the pen once more. Jack Lee will come on to try to close it. We'll tell you about him when we return to Gijang. 7-6 Australia in front in the 9th.
모두 선수가 체크했습니다. 투수 책 리.
Now coming to pitch for Team Australia. 19, Jack Lee.
Not a whole lot more drama you could ask for as a relief pitcher entering a ball game in the 9th inning. The left-hander Jack Lee comes on with 2 outs, 1 run separating his team from a win, the Super Round and a Group A crown, and a dangerous bat in Oakland Athletics, TJ Schofield Sam, stepping into the batter's box. The A's prospect, the thing standing between Canada and a loss today, as with a 7-6 lead, Jack Lee will try to close it out against Schofield Sam. TJ so far today 0 for 4. Lee into the wind, first pitch, there for a strike. Fantastic breaking ball from the lefty. Lee kicks and comes home. Breaking ball, grounded right side. That's on through for a base hit past the dive of Bazana. Schofield Sam puts himself on as the tying run in the 9th. And it brings up Ryan Leach, the catcher.
Now hitting 47.
A great job by TJ Schofield Sam. And Travis Bazana, all the effort in the world. And that one just out of his reach. First pitch fastball to Leach is well high, a ball and no strikes. Ryan Leach, a Marshall University collegiate player in the United States. He was a Cincinnati Reds draft pick, decided to go the academic route. And he's 0 for 4 today, trying to come through in the biggest possible spot for Canada in the bottom of the 9th. Lee ready, 1-0. There for a strike on the breaking ball. Leach didn't like that call, but count goes even on him. Might have just been the fastball from the lefty Lee, who can hum it in with some good velocity. 1-1. Up and away. Count back in favor of the right-handed hitting catcher Leach. Tense moments for Greg Hamilton and Steve Fish and everybody else on this field. 2-1, 3 balls and a strike. Owen Diodati waiting in the on-deck circle. It would be another lefty-lefty matchup if he gets to the plate, but it would also put the tying run at least in scoring position. 3-1. Shot down to third base, knocked down by McDonald. Liam with the throw to first, airmails it over McCallum, and everybody's gonna be safe with Schofield Sam moving into third. A hard hit grounder to Liam McDonald, who knocked it down, stuck with it, and then just didn't set his feet correctly to make that throw accurately to first. And your heart's in your throat. You're a Baseball Australia fan right now. Pinch runner into the game at first base for Canada. As Owen Diodati steps in, and the first pitch to him is torched to center. Skepton started back. There he is in his tracks. He makes the grab, and Australia has won Group A and is headed on to the Super Round in Gijang. Owen Diodati, there is nothing more you can do as a hitter. He smoked that ball to center field, hit it right on the nails, and unfortunately for Canada, hit it right to a waiting center fielder in Alex Skepton. Australia with the exclamation point today, 7 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors. Canada 6 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors. Game played in a tidy 239. And these two teams off to the Super Round along with the host nation Korea as things stand right now, with the Australians having won the group at 2-0 against their fellow Super Round participants. What a game today at Gijang-Hyundai Dream Ballpark Field number 2. Greg Hamilton with handshakes for his counterparts on the other side as Canada and Australia are moving on after a classic this afternoon. More to come here today from Gijang-Hyundai Dream Ballpark as we've wrapped this one up. Netherlands with a 9-6 lead over China, just about set to close that. Couple more games to come today. Panama and the United States, as well as South Africa and Spain. My name is Tyler Mont. Thanks for joining us for this one. Australia with a 7-6 win over Canada. We'll talk to you later today from Gijang.
Right here, right here.